Goldman Sachs and Warren Buffett, Mark, want to buy some tax credits at a big discount from Fannie Mae. And they want to buy those credits and, offset their own income. This is something that's done, by the way, it's a common thing. You're allowed to transfer these things.
Yeah.
They want to buy about $3 billion of them. Treasury Department may block it, saying they're getting it at too much of a discount, could hurt taxpayers because Fannie doesn't have any income. So this just shows all the jockeying for position that's going on, who's a vulture, who isn't a vulture, and what's appropriate. All right, let me just tell you the latest that I'm hearing, and Jon Hilsenrath's with us from the Journal, and I think he's going to be able to add some more to this as well. So a lot of people have speculated that Goldman Sachs brought Warren Buffett in at the last minute so they could look good because Warren gets a lot of respect, obviously, in Washington. Yeah. What I'm hearing is that is not true. Warren Buffett has been involved from the very beginning of this negotiation. So he has been as much of an opportunist as Goldman. And, in fact, it was Fannie Mae that called Goldman and Warren Buffett to try to sell these tax credits, not the other way around in terms of if you're trying to look at some sort of vulturing type of behavior. And last but not least, Fannie Mae have no income now, Mark, but in terms of the balance sheet impact, they're losing $80 to $100 million a month by holding these now, which obviously also could have an implication for taxpayers. So,
well, then you know what?
What?
Talk to the IRS about it. Okay?
Talk to the IRS.
Talk to the IRS about the loss that they're... Is Hilsenrath joining us?
Hilsenrath is here.
Okay.
I'm here. Is he? Yeah, John?
Can I to set this conversation up,
you're saying
let me tell you what really bothers me about this. The average taxpayer, be it me or you or anybody else, we know somebody who suffered a big loss and is not going to have to pay taxes. We can't trade that. I can't buy somebody else's tax credit.
So you're saying tax credits should not be transferable at all?
This is yet another example of fat cat Wall Streeters having the table tilted in their favor, and I think it ought to be blocked.
Hey guys, can I jump
Warren
in?
Yeah, go ahead,
been
John.
doing this for 20 years.
Go ahead, defend the greedy capitalist pigs. Go on.
Well, all right. So first of all, I mean, this isn't just your typical tax loss carry forward. I'm not here to defend anybody, but these are This is part of a government program to support the low income housing. So it's a little bit different than the guy next door who can't pay income taxes, and you would go off and buy that. I just want to say something to what Aaron said. It's true. Buffett has been involved in this with Goldman from the get-go. So it's not true that they just brought him in at the very last second. I mean, they've been talking about this for a while. But the bottom line is, the government now owns Fannie Mae, and so the real question is, what's in the interest of taxpayers? Is it getting rid of these things and having fewer tax revenues, or helping out Fannie Mae's profits?
I'm sure that when we do the math, the taxpayer will come out much farther ahead if Goldman Sachs doesn't have to pay as much in taxes.
So here's an idea that people have talked about to me, and that's it. Why not auction this stuff off? Why should Goldman get dibs on it?
So then Mark could bid
for them.
And don't
let Goldman bid.
No, now Mark, see, that's where you can't have rancor against any individual or institution just because, can you? In the tax system.
I'm sorry.
Well, you personally
Where is it
have
written
it in the
that I
tax
can't
law.
have
Would
rancor?
you like to ensconce that in the tax law?
I'm embracing my rancor.
So, Mark, you're talking about picking and winning losers. If you say that Goldman can't
we wouldn't want the government to pick winners or losers. They've never done that before.
Yeah, but if you ban Goldman from it, that's what you would be doing. The problem is that Goldman is such a big player.
Okay, don't single out Goldman. Just say Wall Street firms.
But then you'd let Warren Buffett do it?
I count Warren Buffett as a Wall Street firm.
Yeah, which I think is fair.
But I mean, it's going to be financial firms who understand how these tax credits work who are going to want to take advantage of them.
Yep.
Buffett actually has a long history in this.
I'm sorry, I think we've done enough for the financial
He's been it for 18 years.
He has been doing it 18 or 19 years, Mark. Warren Buffett's been doing this. So
I'm
Mark
against
doesn't like it.
I'm against it. Period.
Well, it is an interesting
My mind is made up. And don't try to confuse me with the facts.
John, I will say I think Mark's kind of from 300,000 feet question is a fair one, which is how do we end up with a tax code that's so complicated where you can go ahead and basically sell your tax credits to somebody else? I mean, separate from
this was ironically a program created by Ronald Reagan to try to spur low-income housing by getting investors involved in the business. So, that's not the question. The real problem right now is that the government is on so many different sides of these trades. They're getting tax receipts from from profitable firms like Goldman Sachs. They own Fannie Mae. So they have too many sides on this trade.
All right. Thank you very much, Jon Hilsenrath.